Alright, this is the situation at the studio. Duper in Bergen. Mixing desk, that's Iver, who's gonna be the technician during these days. Out the window we can see the fjord. This is the view, actually. The traffic, shit like that. Into the recording room itself. Ivar is getting ready, changing guitar strings.
Before first recording?
Yes. Everything in order?
Yeah.
Have a good feeling about it?
Yes.
That's
Very
nice. Gertles doing some last minute prepare.
I'm going to do a last minute repair right now.
Nice. Drum kit, my brand new Pearl reference. Basically the setup I always used, meaning 5 rack toms, 1 floor tom, snare, and 2 bass drums. I'm gonna take you behind and have a look from my point of view. For some kind of reason, Gertle thought that was incredibly funny, but he's a very, very, very simple-minded person.
Last night I received a rough mix of the album, so I think it's time to just crank that up and go to work.
The intention this time, as opposed to the previous Enslaved records, was trying to capture a bit more of the live energy of the performances, whereas previously they've always gone in and done instrument by instrument. They're one of the bands, at least one of the bands that I know, that actually play the most concerts during a year, so that's got to account for something. So I've been saying to them for years that they should try to do a more live type recording. It wasn't like they came in with some riffs and it was put together in the studio. It was actually done old school, sweating it out in the rehearsal space, and I was also a part of that, and starting the production at that stage. So it wasn't completely live, but the live feeling is there in the groundwork. So I think we were trying to focus on capturing as much honesty as possible, and I don't think honesty necessarily means realism. So it wasn't trying to make a live in the studio record, because they can have live albums for that, but it was just focusing on that energy, because the stuff happens when people actually perform at the same time.
A couple of months before the actual songwriting composition starts, there will be certain signs or premonitions, little emotional hints that a new album is on its way. Whether that's, subconscious messaging or logic or metaphysics, I don't really question it. I take it at face value or mind value, so to speak, and then it's about waiting for the right amount of time to let the ideas multiply and develop on its own, ferment, and then I just know it's the right time to start writing. Then I go somewhere and a little bit away from phones and emails, and let the work commence. That's the ground zero of the Enslaved albums.
You get an idea, you get the initial spark, and then you start working on the idea, and sometimes over just over the phone with Eva, and sometimes we meet for a couple of these. Not necessarily super block, but that's all they have in Portugal. It's pretty good though, and cheap. I think the idea is like being constantly open for inspiration and try to develop it the best way. I mean, that might sound very abstract, but it's an continually ongoing process, really.
Kör på.
This is our artist, Enslaved.
No comments. Hey, today I'm working on what's going to be the back of the new cover. Got my paints, white, black, primary colors. As you can see, the main difference this time from earlier covers is that it's really a lot more lighter in color. This background I'm preparing now, it's gonna hopefully look like a flat stone in the end. Usually I do this naked, wearing a headband.
You learn from everything, absolutely everything. Music is like a living creature. And you can't do the same thing twice. It doesn't mean that, okay, I did this once and then it's gonna work again. It's not like that. So we would just have to work with the music as it is every time differently. And I guess working in the studio, I know that you have to always go for the best possible result recording, just like in playing and sound-wise and everything. You can't get a good guitar tone without like having the amp set at the right settings, sounding good in the room, and then you have to put the mics on and then hopefully it's good. But if the sound isn't good, and like in the start, it's not gonna work. So that's really important. Working in the studio, I guess I'm really interested in sounds fitting together, arrangements of course, a big part of it. So I guess I take something from Enslaved into the producing stuff and something from producing other albums into Enslaved. And I think also that's one of my advantages as a producer is to see the whole picture in Enslaved. It's not important for me I want to be loudest in this or that part, or it's more like the whole picture, the whole song and the whole album is the important thing.
And I don't really have a big production philosophy. I don't go in with a preconceived notion of how you're supposed to do things. But I will say that if you are a band and you actually do a lot of live performances, I think it's always a good idea to try to capture a bit of that magic that happens between musicians that are well rehearsed and play well together.
Good morning, fruitcakes.
Good morning, beefy tits.
Yes, my fruitcake.
Ready for day 2?
Day 2 coming up.
Day 2, take 46. Not really. Yeah, I mean, I think rehearsing is very crucial, so to speak. I hear stories of loads of bands go into a studio without having rehearsed for the new album at all, and even writing stuff in the studio. I really don't see the point of doing that. I mean, first of all, it's uncomfortable, it costs loads of money, and I will never underestimate the value of being well prepared in the studio. I mean, you can give a lot more if you have the necessary confidence prior to the recordings. There is actually more room for improvisation if you're well prepared than the latter, actually. I will not blow my own trumpet or anything like that, but I think at least on Axioma and RIITIIYA we have been pretty well prepared, and you can easily hear that in the atmosphere of music, the soundscape, it sounds very comfortable. Yeah, so kids, do a rehearse before you go to the studio.
When it works and we got the chemistry and the groove going, it's a good feeling when you're finished a take of a song and you just feel that, yes, we nailed it. So you can also, I don't know, share the joy and the disappointments with others.
Now I'm constructing the album title and how it's gonna look on the front. Also I'm doing work for a symbol or maybe a logo that's gonna go with this new album, and it's gonna be a part of the centerpiece on the front cover as well. So I'm doing some good old tracing with a rough sketch, long process, and sometimes I get really impatient. You have to stick with it. It's gonna be good.
Now it's recording. Yes? Yes.
I've known the guys for quite a few years now, so I guess it's been a kind of a smooth transition from being a mate who speaks his opinion about things over a couple of years to actually starting to work with them on different levels. I think the first time we actually worked together was when I was called in to tune the drums for Below the Lights in 2003. And from there it's been just a natural involvement in things, from subbing for Kato as a drummer a couple of times to being involved in different side projects, and then finally drifting into the production team. So I guess I've been kind of prepared for the Enslaved way of doing stuff for many years.
start with the focus on the parts and then try to melt it together to be one big piece, to hopefully try to keep the same mood in the whole song. But sometimes there are parts in a song that kind of goes out of the box, to put it that way. When you stop and start a completely new theme, then you can, I don't know, think about that as a separate part. But then you get back to the song again, and then I try to well, keep the mood going. So, and sometimes kind of develop a little bit from. Well, I tend to play very straightforward in the beginning of the song, so the different parts kind of will be well set and introduced, as I like to call it, and then you can kind of fool a little bit around, but never sacrifice the main element that's the groove.
Just finished the song Thoughts Like Hammers.
Thoughts Like Hammers. It felt like hammers during the recordings, but I think we somehow nailed it.
Yeah.
Not you.
Producer happy?
Very happy.
Great.
He just won the lottery. We don't care about the music.
Kiddo.
It's taking us so many hours that, you know, he's obviously happy.
Yeah. So that was
I
the...
charge per the hour.
Another great thing being two vocalists is it makes it more interesting. I mean, each voice has its own color, and it's much easier to work on vocal arrangements if you are two persons with strong visions. Makes it really comfortable to develop the arrangements, and we have done this since the cooperation with Havlan has been going on since 2004, and it's getting better and better, and we are more and more comfortable working with each other. And klar. Aum RIITIIYA Nama. Listen to this. So this is the microphone I've been doing most of the vocals with, screaming and growling and such. This is an old Neumann.
Yeah,
right?
it's approximately our age actually. It was born somewhere around 73, 74, so it's an old Eastern European Neumann.
And this is even older. This one I use for like whispers, slow growling,
and a bit of distorted growling as well.
Yeah, a bit of distorted growling. This is is it from the 50s?
Yeah, it's sometime in the 50s.
And it's a tube condensator microphone.